Hey guys, Sword here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Mr. Freeze. From what you might ask, honestly I have no freaking clue. There is no label on the box specifying which version of good old Victor Freeze this is. So, that's it. Hey, at least I got it right with the Batman and Robin collectible one, right? That said, this course is brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, who are not really strangers at sucking at labeling things, okay? It's not the first time they've just put the name of the character on the box. Like, it usually says where it's from on the back, maybe? So I think they do copy-paste the bio on the cards on the back of the packaging, but other than that, as far as the front of the packaging goes, you know, the part that matters to most people, yeah, not a lot of labels there. Just says DC Multiverse and the name of the character, which, you know, most of the boxes that my figures come in wind up in the trash anyways, so, you know, no, recycling. I try to be environmentally friendly, but let's just say my carbon footprint due to all these freaking toys I review for you guys probably zeroes that out. Yeah, that said, that depressing side tangent aside, as far as Mr. Freeze's accessories, you don't get much with him as far as that goes, but you do get his freeze gun. So hey, I guess Warner Bros. Is finally lifting that gun ban a little bit, just so Mr. Freeze can at least be equipped properly here. That said, you can actually pop this ice blast out the front. I will tell you though, I have no idea if I actually broke this and I'm just lucky that it does kind of fit in there like that and doesn't fall out, or if it's actually just kind of keyed and snaps in there now. That said, I don't really care. I kind of like the fact that I can take this out and pop it back in when I friggin' want, because just having this out, especially when it's down at the ground, kind of stupid. Be different if it was hanging off the gun, that'd be different, but as it stands, I made it removable. I will say use a hair dryer before you go cranking on that, if that is what you're planning to do. The gun is PVC. I can only assume that this is kind of sort of too, but it's a lot harder, so, you know. Best of luck to you with that. Oh wait, never mind. This figure's been sold out for a long time. Like most McFarlane stuff from last year. I don't know what's going on, but I wish the Todd Father would quit making 50 different characters in the span of like 6 months and maybe make 20 and have the distribution not suck super friggin' hard on them. Because I missed Nightfall Catwoman, and I also don't have that Joker with the eyeball in his hand, but it's like the Three Jokers Joker for the 5th freaking time, and, you know, I could probably live without him. But I do want the Catwoman from Nightfall, but, you know, I'm not going to pay $40 for it either. You can eat it. That said, he does, of course, come with a collectible trading card. There's a bio on the back that you don't got to pause and read. So I got you covered there. Hopefully this will work.
Mr. Freeze, Victor Fries TM, data file, real name, Victor Fries. The corporation funding Victor's work shut down his experiments and, in the process, caused a horrible accident. The coolants did irreparable harm and made it impossible for him to survive above freezing temperatures. To counteract this, Victor constructed a special, ultra-durable suit to keep his body alive and at the right temperature. He embraced his new persona and became Mr. Freeze, ISEA.
And there you go. There is Mr. Freeze in a nutshell. Long story short, place he worked for sucked, and he became a supervillain because of it. Kind of like a lot of people nowadays. Turn to the side of darkness. So taking him off the trademark. Occupuck display stand. We're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases. This figure is awesome. I love this figure. I'm not a fan of the colors. I wish they were a little more on the blues and the whites and the blacks and the grays instead of this weird... I don't know, it looks white to me, but I heard it's like kind of a tan or something, which is weird, but I don't know. I don't hate it, but I think the Entertainment Earth exclusive version of this guy looks a little better. He's got his backpack on the back there. It's nice. He's got the dome on his head, which you can actually remove this. And I'll leave that off so we can look at the articulation. He's got a double ball peg. He actually gets a decent amount of range in there. He can look up pretty well. He can look down. He can tilt side to side. He can rotate side to side. There's a decent amount of movement in there. So see if I can pop this back on. It's a little tricky. You kind of got to just force it down and hope it goes down. There. That's as good as I can get it right now. I can probably adjust it a little bit more, but it's a tight fit. It's not a loose fitting piece. Like I can flip them upside down and shake them and it's not going to go anywhere. So that's good. That's really good. As far as the rest of his articulation, however, he's got the disc hinges in the shoulders, but geez, they're kind of tight. But you can get them out. Pop them back down. He's got the pauldrons. They are connected to the arm, so they rotate with it. He's got that butterfly joint in there. He's got a bicep swivel. And I think, yeah, it looks like the pauldron is connected to that. So that's good. I will say he also has a swivel right above the elbow, which is probably a little bit easier to use. And because of all these like panels and things, he's borderline got pinless joints, which is kind of impressive for a McFarlane figure. We're not used to seeing that. And it's not pinless in the kind of whatever sense like Hasbro does or Mattel does with the Masterverse stuff. It's pinless in the sense that they're just covered by like pieces of the figure. That's pretty cool. That said, he does have the ball hinge wrists that do work. Rotate them and whatnot there. The torso is on the double ball peg, and it does work pretty well. It's a little bit loose for my liking, but it's not terrible. He's not flopping all over the place. He's got a little wiggle to him, but I could probably adjust that. He's got a waist that works fine, but it's tighter than crap, and I can't really get in there to move it. You can see I get a little wiggle out of that, but I will tell you one trick I've attempted on several figures now is I will actually heat up the torso, pop it apart, flip the double ball peg around, and pop it back together. That sometimes actually tightens things up. That's what I did on this guy. I did it on another figure I'll be looking at next week. I think a week from today, actually, the new Steel. And I've done it on, I want to say I did it on the Spawn and the 2-pack, but I honestly can't remember. But there's several figures I've done that on, and it works for the most part. Like this guy is a little less loose than he was when I got him, so that's nice. The hips can kick forward pretty well, kick down, kick out to the side, back down. He's got a thigh cut that works a little bit. He's got double knee. No overly loose joints on this guy, unlike the Speeding Bullets Batman, or Superman, whichever, that I looked at yesterday. He's pretty rock solid, other than that torso having a little bit of looseness. He's got a boot swivel. That works pretty well. His ankles have the ball hinge joint. He's got the rocker. I will say I had to heat up his feet. They were pretty tight initially. And then he also has his toe joint. Again, pretty tight. So everything on this guy is relatively tight. Especially for like DC Multiverse. Like if most of the figures came out like him, just a little bit of looseness, not like overly loose, this line would be really good. But unfortunately, when you make 50 frickin' figures a year, or a month I should say, that's kind of what McFarlane is doing. That's not gonna happen because you're like overdoing it, man. Like, what the heck? Like, can we get some Spawn stuff from this company? Like, what happened to that line? The line seems dead in the water. But as far as size comparisons go, I wasn't really sure what to pull out for Mr. Freeze here. Lousy freaking Superman from yesterday's video. Falling off camera. So I got the Nightfall Batman here. The best Batman. I think that can go with this Superman. Mr. Freeze. Speaking of which, let me stand that stupid figure back up with his dumb arse. Like, I don't know why everyone likes that Hush Superman. I think that figure's garbage. Because it's the ankles just don't line up. You can't stand him very well. But there's Mr. Freeze with what I think is the best Batman. And, you know, if you want to see it, like a couple of my favorite Multiverse of the year, there you go. All I have to do is whip out like that Atomic Skull and Dead Man. And, you know, why not Spawn from the 2-pack, right? I mean, he was good. It was just the Batman was trash. But there you go. There is Batman and Mr. Freeze together. I really like these two together because I don't have a lot of Batman rogues that are like normal size from this line. Unfortunately, I don't have the Catwoman, like I said. I could kit bash a Joker. I don't think we have like a traditional looking Joker, really. We got the Clown from 3 Jokers, but he's got like the pink coat in most people's. Mind's eye view, the Joker, he's wearing like purple, but maybe with that same head. And then I missed out on the classic Riddler because, well, McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, and I can't keep track of all these releases, man. There's just too many of them. That said, before we wrap this up, I'll go on another rant about a company that I used to really like and now I'm kind of salty towards because it's too much to keep track of. Here is the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. It wouldn't be one of my videos without bringing him in here. And then, of course, the infamous 11 Spawn. And no, don't even ask me about that Monitor Collect-A-Build wave with one of my favorite characters, the Spectre, in it, because that crap's overpriced. But, of course, Spawn and Mr. Freeze are about even, I think, because of his dome, which does stick up a little bit for my liking. I wish it sat a little lower. I'm sure someone modded that, but I'm not going to do that. If anything, if that Entertainment Earth one, you know, is pretty common or goes on sale or something, I might pick that up just to check it out. Because again, I think the colors on that one are a little bit better. They're a little bit more like the animated series maybe, or, you know, how he looks most of the time with the darker colors. So that might be worth checking out. But with that being said, time now that we wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and out of all the DC Multiverse figures to be put out by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys in the calendar year 2023, for those of you watching this in the future, I think good old Mr. Freeze here has quite possibly the best chance of beating out Nightfall Batman to land a spot on my top action figures of the year video, which, yes, that's a video I plan on doing at some point. Not going to tell you when, but when the time comes, you won't be disappointed. I assure you. But back to Mr. Freeze here. This figure kicks all kinds of buttocks right in the buttocks. I love this thing. I would argue that if you don't have one from the Mattel days, this would probably go good with your DC Classics. However, the colors are acquired taste. I'm not the biggest fan of them, and that is the biggest downfall of this figure. It's not a Mr. Freeze color scheme I'm too familiar with, nor is it one that I prefer. I much prefer, you know, the animated look, the later animated look even, or maybe something from Superpowers, or, you know, like the old Mattel ones, the black or the silver with the light blue or the dark blue, something like that. I'd really like a fully articulated one from the Batman animated series, but that's probably never going to happen. I say that because he kind of had a Ghost Rider thingy going on with the ice on his dome. It was really awesome, but that's another story for another day, I'm afraid. But if the colors don't work for you here, I do believe Entertainment Earth has an exclusive version with arguably better colors, more comic accurate colors, because again, what is this from exactly? I don't know. I've heard it's from like a big group shot of DC characters for like some anniversary thing. He looked like that, or this in that, I should say. And that's about it. Other than that, I don't know what source material this is pulled from, but I'm not familiar with it. So if you are, pipe up in the comments below. I'm very curious. But this is what I expect from the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys for 20 bucks. Something really solid like this. I don't expect to pay 30 bucks for something like this and get a crappy card stand I'm going to throw away with it, right? Yeah, I said it. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.